There are nights in life that strip us down to the bone. Nights when the masks we wear can no longer protect us. Nights when the spirits of truth, naked and unashamed, step into the room and demand that we face what we've been running from. I never expected it. I thought it would be ordinary, another night like any other. But life has a way of showing up uninvited, shaking you awake, and asking a question that can burn or heal you. Are you ready to see the truth? The naked spirit doesn't ask for permission. It doesn't care about your excuses, your comfort, or the illusions you cling to. It comes to remind you that life is short, that time is fragile, and that hiding from your own soul is the greatest betrayal of all. That night, I learned something. The things we fear, the truths we avoid, are not here to destroy us, they are here to transform us. When you finally strip down your fears, your doubts, your excuses, what remains is power. What remains is purpose. What remains is the unbreakable spirit inside of you. And that, my friend, is the story we are all destined to face. There are moments in life when the ordinary suddenly shatters, when the ground beneath us gives way, and we are forced to see what lies beneath the surface of everything we thought we understood. Life has a strange way of delivering these moments. Never scheduled, never announced, never polite. They arrive when you least expect them, often in the silence of the night, or in a situation you thought was routine, simple, unremarkable. And yet, when the veil is lifted, you realize that the ordinary was only a disguise. What looked normal was only a mask, and beneath that mask lies truth, raw, unfiltered, and undeniable. When life strips away illusion, it does so without mercy. It doesn't ask if you're ready. It doesn't wait for you to gather courage. It rips the cover off and exposes the reality you've been avoiding. Maybe it comes through a question you never thought you'd hear, or a confession you weren't prepared to face. Maybe it shows up in a way that feels like a wound, sharp and piercing. But in that very moment, even as your world feels shaken, something profound is being offered to you, a glimpse of the truth you've been living beside, but never daring to confront. Most people live in layers of illusion. They tell themselves stories to feel safe, stories about who they are, about what life means, about what tomorrow will look like. These illusions are comforting. They let us move through the day without trembling. But when reality breaks through, when an unexpected moment tears those stories apart, we discover that the comfort was false, that the safety was a cage, and that the truth, however heavy, is the only thing that can set us free. That's the paradox of life's unexpected awakenings. They come disguised as chaos but carry within them the seed of liberation. At first, all you feel is shock. You want to turn away, to close your eyes, to return to the way things were just moments ago. But you can't unsee the truth once it's been revealed. It burns into your awareness, and from that point on, you are different. Whether you admit it or not, you've been changed. You've been invited to live at a deeper level, where honesty is sharper and life is more real. And it is precisely in those moments, those sudden, uninvited, unexplainable encounters with truth, that growth begins. Because the truth doesn't arrive to destroy you, it arrives to awaken you. What feels like loss is often revelation. What feels like breaking is often the first step toward becoming whole. When illusions are shattered, what remains is clarity, and clarity is power. That is why the most unexpected moments are often the most important. They are not accidents, they are not random. They are invitations. Life, in its mysterious way, knows exactly when you are ready, even if you don't. And when the veil is lifted, when the illusion dissolves, you are left with a choice of face the truth and rise, or hide from it and remain the same. But the truth, once seen, will never let you go. It will follow you, whispering, pressing, reminding you that the night when everything changed was not just another night. It was the beginning of something greater. The naked spirit is not something outside of us. It is the part of ourselves that has nothing left to hide. It is the moment when all the layers of pretense, performance, and protection are stripped away, leaving only what is real. We live in a world where masks are worn daily, where people smile while hurting inside, where strength is faked to cover fear, where success is projected to cover insecurity. The naked spirit is the opposite of all that. It is the moment when the soul steps forward, unclothed by excuses, free of deception, and speaks with a voice that cannot be ignored. Facing the naked spirit is uncomfortable, almost unbearable, because it leaves no place to run. When you stand in front of it, you are standing in front of yourself without filters, without the shields you've carefully built over the years. There are no roles to play, no audiences to impress, no lies left to cling to. There is only truth, truth about who you are, what you desire, what you fear, and what you've been avoiding. That is why so many resist it. It feels like standing in the center of a fire, watching everything you thought you were being burned away. But within that fire is freedom, because what is destroyed in that moment is not your essence. It is only the illusions you've been carrying. When the naked spirit appears, it is not here to shame you. It is here to remind you that your excuses and disguises were never necessary. You never needed them to begin with. You only believed you did, because the world taught you to fear rejection, to fear weakness, to fear being seen for who you truly are. The naked spirit says, enough. It demands that you drop the act and face life as the raw, unfiltered being you were created to be. The naked spirit also forces honesty in a way nothing else can. When it speaks, it doesn't whisper in riddles, it doesn't negotiate. It delivers the truth straight to your chest. And though it may shake you, it also awakens you. You begin to see where you've been settling, where you've been lying to yourself, where you've been pretending everything is fine when in reality your soul has been restless. This confrontation feels harsh, but in truth, it is the greatest act of love life can give you. Because once you see the truth, once you face yourself without fear, you are no longer bound by chains of falsehood. There is a strange power in being stripped bare. It reveals strength you didn't know you had. It shows you that you are capable of standing unguarded and still surviving. It teaches you that authenticity is stronger than any mask. The naked spirit may come in silence or in storm, but its purpose is always the same: to bring you face to face with the one person you can never escape, you. And when you dare to meet that person fully, when you dare to stand there without pretense, you unlock a power more unshakable than anything the world could ever hand you. Fear and discomfort are often seen as enemies, as barriers meant to hold us back, as forces we must escape if we are to live peacefully. Yet in truth, they are not here to destroy us. They are here to transform us. Every great change, every breakthrough, every awakening is born from moments of deep unease. When life pushes you into discomfort, when it places you in situations that shake your sense of safety, it is not punishing you. It is preparing you. Growth never happens in the warm embrace of comfort. It only happens in the fire. In the stretching, in the moments where you are forced to face what you would rather avoid. Fear is the mind's signal that you are standing at the edge of something larger than what you know. It whispers of danger, but beneath that whisper lies a hidden message. This is where transformation begins. Fear points to the very place where your life can expand, where your limits can be broken. If you avoid it, you remain the same. If you confront it, you evolve. That is why so many stay stuck, because fear convinces them that survival lies in retreat, when in reality, survival lies in stepping forward. Discomfort works in much the same way. It is the body and soul's alarm bell that you are moving beyond your familiar patterns. Think about the first time you tried something difficult, whether it was speaking in front of people, taking on a new responsibility, or facing a painful truth. Your heart raced, your palms sweat, your voice trembled. Yet those moments, as uncomfortable as they were, became milestones. They shaped you. They carved strength into your being. Without them, you would never have grown into who you are today. The irony is that what feels like resistance is often the sign that you are exactly where you need to be. The weight in your chest, the knot in your stomach, the shaking of your hands. These are not signs of weakness. They are proof that you are stepping into territory that matters. The things that come easy rarely change us. It is the struggles, the difficult choices, the moments that stretch us past our limits that shape the kind of person we become. Fear and discomfort are teachers, though harsh ones. They strip away the illusion that life is meant to be smooth and predictable. They remind us that greatness is not born from safety, but from daring. Every hero, every leader, every soul who has ever risen beyond mediocrity has walked through valleys of fear. They felt it fully, but they refused to bow to it. They saw discomfort as a companion, not a curse. When you stop running from fear and begin to walk with it, you discover its true purpose. It sharpens you. It forces you to summon courage you didn't know you had. It reveals strength that lies dormant until pressure awakens it. Discomfort is the forge, fear is the fire, and you are the metal being shaped. What once felt unbearable becomes the very force that molds you into someone unbreakable. When excuses are stripped away, when every justification and every rationalization you've been holding on to finally falls silent, what remains is the raw essence of who you truly are. Excuses are comfortable. They shield us from the responsibility of facing ourselves. They give us temporary relief. They allow us to delay the work that life demands. We say we don't have the time, we don't have the resources, we don't have the right circumstances. We convince ourselves that tomorrow will be better, tomorrow will begin, tomorrow will commit. But tomorrow is a lie we tell ourselves to avoid the truth of today. And when those excuses are gone, when life rips them from our grip, we are left standing bare in front of the one thing that can no longer be denied: our own power. Power doesn't come from pretending, it doesn't come from waiting for ideal conditions, and it certainly doesn't come from hiding behind reasons why something cannot be done. Power comes from action, from choice, from the relentless decision to rise even when nothing around you makes sense. Excuses weaken the spirit, but their absence strengthens it. Because in the silence left behind, you realize that the very things you thought were holding you back were never stronger than the will inside you. There comes a moment when you run out of places to hide. You've told yourself the same story too many times, and even you no longer believe it. That moment is painful because it forces you to face yourself, but it is also the most liberating moment of your life. With no more excuses to lean on, you are free to act. You are free to take responsibility for everything you are and everything you're not. You stop waiting for someone to save you, and you recognize that the only one who can turn the page is you. The absence of excuses doesn't make life easier. It makes life real, and real life is where power lives. It is in the choice to step forward when your legs are shaking. It is in the decision to speak truth when silence feels safer. It is in the willingness to keep moving when every voice inside you screams to quit. That is where strength is born, not in perfect plans, not in waiting for a sign, but in the courage to stop lying to yourself and start living from the core of who you are. When you strip away excuses, what remains is responsibility. And with responsibility comes freedom. Because once you own your choices, once you claim your path fully, no one and nothing can take it from you. You stop being a victim of circumstance and become the architect of your destiny. You understand that your power is not given, it is claimed. And it can only be claimed when you stop explaining why you can't and start proving why you can. In that moment, you don't just step into power, you become it. Facing truth is one of the most terrifying and liberating experiences a human being can encounter. It strips away the comfortable lies, the protective illusions, the fragile stories we tell ourselves to make the days easier to endure. At first, it feels like destruction. It feels as though the ground has been pulled out from under you, as though the life you thought you knew has collapsed. But the truth does not come to ruin you. It comes to awaken you. It arrives to break down the walls you've built around yourself so that something greater can be revealed. When you finally stop running, when you stand still long enough to face the truth that has been chasing you, you discover that it is not a monster. It is not here to end you. It is here to free you. It is the light shining into the dark corners of your life, exposing the things you've hidden, the things you've denied, the things you've pretended didn't exist. And though that light feels blinding, though it stings the eyes at first, it gives you the gift of clarity. With clarity comes direction, and with direction comes purpose. People fear truth because it demands change. Once you see it, you cannot return to blindness. Once you know it, you cannot unknow it. Truth calls you to rise, to act, to become something greater than the version of yourself that was content with illusions. This is why it feels like a threat, because it dismantles the fragile comfort you've been clinging to. But comfort is not freedom. Comfort is the cage. Truth is the key. The moment you embrace it, your entire world begins to shift. You see relationships differently, because you can no longer tolerate dishonesty. You see your own limitations differently, because you realize most of them were self-imposed. You see your time differently, because you understand how precious it really is. The lies that once numbed you lose their power, and in their place rises a hunger for authenticity, for realness, for a life lived with eyes wide open. Truth is not about tearing you down. It is about stripping away everything that is not you, so that the real you can stand tall. It is the fire that burns off the false layers. It is the mirror that shows you what you've become and what you're capable of becoming. It is the voice that says, stop hiding, stop pretending, start living. When you allow truth to do its work, you step into a life where purpose is no longer a distant dream but a present reality. And that is the ultimate power of truth. It awakens. It does not ask permission. It does not wait until you're ready. It does not soften itself for your comfort. It enters, it exposes, it demands, and then it frees. The very thing you thought would break you becomes the very thing that remakes you. That is the gift truth carries, not destruction, but transformation. It does not take life away from you. It hands it back to you fully, fiercely, and without apology. In the end, life is not asking us to be perfect. It is asking us to be real. It is asking us to strip away the masks, to face the fears, to silence the excuses, and to walk boldly into the truth that was always waiting for us. The unexpected moments, the raw awakenings, the naked spirits that step into our lives, they are not accidents. They are invitations. They come to remind us that beneath the noise, beneath the lies, beneath the layers of who we pretend to be, there is a spirit inside us that is powerful, unshakable, and free. The journey is not easy. Truth will challenge you. Fear will test you. Discomfort will stretch you. But if you dare to endure it, if you dare to rise through it, you will discover the strength that cannot be taken, the purpose that cannot be shaken, and the freedom that cannot be denied. That is the gift of facing the truth. You don't just survive, you awaken. So tonight, as you carry these words with you, remember this: the naked spirit is not something to fear. It is the reminder that you are more than your doubts, more than your excuses, more than your illusions. You are a living flame, built to rise, built to endure, built to transform. And once you awaken to that, nothing in this world can stop you. Thank you for walking this journey with me, for opening your heart to these words, and for daring to seek truth in a world full of lies. Until we meet again, keep rising, keep fighting, keep living with the fire of your spirit uncovered and unashamed. Goodbye for now, and thank you.